But yeah, but 1987 is clearly when the wheels start to come off a little bit. Some of the more questionable business decisions are made. We talked about that a lot with Jim Crockett Jr. in our conversations with Conrad Peace, that WrestleMania 3 was just something that he felt like he had to play catch up ball after, which I could see. As a
Absolutely.
result, he makes maybe a hasty decision to jump in and purchase what's left of the Watts territory. The trouble is, all that's really left is a bunch of debt.
Yep.
And well, Crockett winds up trying to hold the bag for some of that, decides he's not going to pay it all. I think there's still probably some hurt feelings on the Watts side about all that. And
Really? Okay.
I don't know all the details. I just know that I think there was a deal that was made and maybe enough due diligence didn't happen. And as a result, I think they realized, hey, we were sold maybe a bill of goods. And there may have even been some hurt feelings towards Jim Ross at the time. But there was no denying that Jim Ross, boy, when that camera came on, he was calling wrestling at a really, really high level. So he was an asset for sure.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And the Jim Ross that I worked with in the early 90s was the best.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
absolutely.
I challenge everybody because, these days, and I don't know why, but people have decided to pick on good old JR. And so if he has any sort of slip of the tongue whatsoever and he's not 100% perfect, people come out with their fucking torches and pitchforks.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to early 90s WCW with him on the call. I think it's the greatest example of what's possible in that position that maybe ever existed.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah. It was. And of course, then it got even better as he moved on to the WWE.
Oh, that's where he really became a star.
Right.
Is there. But I think everybody listening to this, we've all just been attitude era'd out. Like, we've seen so much of it, but that early 90s WCW, it feels like it sometimes goes below the radar. But there's a lot of great talent on there. The least of which is Jim Ross, because my God, he's just on his game. It feels like a professional sporting event, a major event every time he's on the call.
I think the early 90s in WCW were tainted because of Jim Herd and Jim Barnett.
Yeah, the Jims.
I do. Because they had no fucking idea. Look, did you see where the Barbarian grabbed him right there?
How about that?
Grabbed him right on the old gimmick. Pinning.
You were speaking of getting grabbed on your old gimmick. When was the last time you had a good old fashioned two-hander?
I don't remember a good old fashioned two. With mine, one hand covers everything up.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd love to be able to have a two-hander.
Oh, okay.
Look at this U.S. heavyweight title.
Man, we're going right to a major match here. Of course, Barry Windham and Lex Luger here are going to be hooking it up for the U.S. title. But once upon a time, not too distant future, this is going to be for the world title when Ric Flair takes his talents north.
Yeah.
Tommy Young's your referee, and there you see roving around the outside. It's J.J. Dillon and our trusty cameraman, Jackie Crockett.
How about Jackie?
Wyndham here is at the top of his game. No doubt about it. Lex Luger's still very much the novice, still green. He's not brand new to wrestling, but this is big time professional wrestling. And he's coming in and making big money now and has $1 million look and flirting and a part of the Four Horsemen. And we know Barry Windham is going to be sooner rather than later as well, but that hasn't happened as of yet. So Barry Windham's still very much the babyface and a tall, handsome, good-looking. I mean, I know it's not his tagline. That would be Dustin Rhodes. But if there really was ever a natural in the wrestling ring, you got to think that's a perfect description for Barry Windham. Wouldn't you think, Tony?
Yeah. One of the best complete pro wrestlers ever.
Yes.
If he could have talked like Ric Flair, he'd have been the big star like Ric Flair. I'd say I got it. It's an old tune we hit on this show. That's how you become a big star, and is to be able to talk.
Yes.
With the exception of, John Moxley, MJF. Who else goes out and does long promos? Chris Jericho. You don't have many people to be able to go out and do 5, 6 minute, 7 minute promos anymore. And again, back in the old days, they would, and this was the creative part of Dusty and the people who were in front of the camera at that time. You just went out, you did your promo, and you did it until you didn't have a set time back then. Now we say we do our pre-tapes, and the first thing when we start to do a pre-tape backstage, first thing one of the talent will say is, "How long do I have?"
Right.
And normally they have like a minute and a half to do it.
Right.
Which in itself, by the way,
is a long promo.
Yeah, it is a long promo. And if you can get it done in a minute and a half, that's being pretty creative to get it done in a set time.
Yes.
But back then we didn't have set times. We just had, and see, this is what's interesting. This is what's interesting about here in 1987. The real catch, grab, the real thing about our show that drew you to our television show were the promos.
Absolutely.
And now we don't have any. We're 10 minutes into the show.
And we're wrestling.
We're still wrestling. Yeah. So I'm trying to think listen, I know Jim Ross was with us. I don't know why he's not on the show, and maybe his voice is, I don't know if you want to track it. I just think it's me though, since I was on camera. Jim Ross had a profound impact in the direction of our company once he came aboard, because he thought big time matches should be on TV. That was his thought. And look here, 35 years later, he's exactly right. It's a TV show.
Of course, we know Ole Anderson went the other way.
Yes.
And he would argue that if you show them everything, eventually you got nothing left to show them.
Right.
Let's track it a little bit, see if we hear JR on the call. Sounds like it's just you to me.
Yep, that's it. But it's odd that it's just me, because Jim had been with us since, I believe, July. Anyway, so be that as it may, it's just amazing how things changed in Jim Crockett Promotions in the span of 1 year. This is nothing like the TV show a year ago. So there you see the impact of, I really think you see the impact of Jim Ross in the front office, his creativity, and Jim Crockett saying, okay, yeah, let's go with it. Or maybe you're seeing the impact of TBS and the people at TBS saying, you know what, we want more matches on TV. That could be it.
I mean, listen, there maybe was some wisdom to saying we want to debut, or we want to do something like Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SaveWithConrad.com. Yeah, I'm Justin Ruffin from Knoxville, Tennessee. What got me to Save with Conrad was the 83 Weeks podcast. I really wasn't thinking about getting rid of any debt. I just wanted to cash out some equity in the house to do remodeling. But I did both, so that was pretty awesome. Worked out great. Redid the foyer, built pantry space, and there was little odds and ends when I first bought the house that I wanted to take care of, and we were able to take care of it. So, yeah, paid off 2 cars and some credit card debt. So probably all in all, getting $30,000 in that, and then I got some $30,000 more equity out of the house, and got still plenty of equity left over. So payment's good. I lowered my interest rate. I'm in a much better spot than I was. Super easy. Everybody was great. Very, very awesome people. Francis and Steve were great to work with. They're awesome. Made it for a very easy, seamless experience. I'd probably say all in all, probably $1,000 a month at least. I'm lowered my interest rate, especially the way the interest rates are right now, which is, that's amazing. I'm Justin Bruckman from Knoxville, Tennessee. I saved over $1,000 with SaveWithConrad.com, and I did a lot of renovations with that money as well.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com.